Hello everyone, here is my tutorial based off of a YouTube video on interactions, and today I'll be teaching how to implement interactions by using raycast in first person. So starting off, we want to create a script, and we're going to name it whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to name it tutorial, just because we are doing a tutorial right now. And I'm going to go click on it and open it up, and we're going to want to implement the following code. I'm renaming this. So to explain what this code does, we first have our variables, which are both public. We have transform interactor source, which is where the interaction is going to start off with, which is where the player is, and we have the interaction range. And the interaction range right here is whatever the character is going to be looking at, right? So the character itself is going to be looking right here, casting a ray at where the position is of the player, and forward. Then if the ray hits something inside the interaction range and it collides, then it will cause the interaction to go off. What we want to add here is what is it called? I just deleted the code. It was, nope. We're gonna undo some stuff right now. Oh no, okay. It was interface, interactor, and we're gonna create the following code based off of it. We're gonna do public void interact. That's all we're gonna do. And we're gonna call this tutorial. And now we're gonna go back to our program, and now we have this. Now what we have is just the base code by itself, and it doesn't do anything right now because you haven't implemented it. But let's see what we can do with it. One of the few examples of what you can do is that if we go back to another program that we did, position swapper right here, we see that the code itself is something we've done before, minus this interact part right here. Everything else we've done before. So what we want to do is that we're going to take the old code, if you have it from before in the class, and you're going to take it and copy and paste it down, right? The only new addition is this public void interact and this void update right here. And we're going to use the interface, right, interactor that we made before in order to use this code. So if you create a new script and you use this, we're going to do position swapped, and then right here we're going to add interactor to make sure it works, and then we're going to just take the exact same code and make it to where we use the interactor's interact function and call it every time it updates. What this does is that every frame it will run the interaction key, and it will make it to where every time you input E, it will make whatever you want to do interact. And in this case, it will swap the position of the blocks. So we're going to go back to the game. Sorry about that, give me a second. We're going to be creating two objects right here. We're going to create one square. We're going to create a second one right now. So moving the second one out and over. We're also going to adjust the camera to be where we can see and look at the block, because if we don't, we're not going to be able to interact with it. Now using this, we're going to create an empty, we're going to call it swap, and moving it onto the swap, so we know that it's going to be the variable, the function that we're going to be using. We're then going to implement the position swap onto the swap function itself. So if you see right here, we have two objects. We have we have object A and object B, which we're going to be swapping. In this case, we're going to put object 1 and object 2 over here. And you might be wondering, this isn't going to do anything. How will we know for swapping the blocks? Well, there's two things that you can do. The first one being you can make a new material, like I did over here, and I'll explain right now how to. But the second way is going back into your code and making it to where every time swap position is called, you can add a debug.log, and we're going to be swap. So in the log itself, it'll tell you whether or not the player swapped positions. Compiling errors. Hold on. Tractor. Sorry about that. The code is a little off. We're going to attach it to Unity. And we're going to run the program. What is the issue? Oh, I see. Attach it to Unity. And we're going to now run the program. We're going to click on the console. And you see it swaps. But that doesn't show anything. There's no visual change. I don't know if the block is actually changing. And that's no fun. So we want to make sure that this block is in view so we can see it actually physically change. What we're going to do here, right, is we're going to right click, create material, and we're going to name it whatever you want. In this case, I would usually name it block color, but we can name it swap color 1. And we can change it over here to any color we want. That being darker, lighter, red, blue, the whole likes. In this case, I'll just stick to whatever I made before. I'm going to delete this later. I'm going to move blue on top, drop it down, same thing with red. Now, in this case, you see that there's 2 blocks, red and blue. We're going to run the program, and we're going to see if it works. Bam! Now you may be wondering, what if you just made it to where it just worked if you press E? Well, there's 2 reasons why that's a bad idea for games that you might want to use long term. And the thing about it is that certain games require to where you only want to interact with an object when you're looking at it or at a certain area in place. And when you just have it to where the object will interact, it doesn't allow expression in a way. And it doesn't allow the game to have much complexity if you're always pressing one button for something to interact. So in this case, this is perfect for first-person games as you're going to be looking down at stuff and you're going to interact. See, this is still in the range, technically the viewpoint, as a cast array, but that's how we make an interaction function. Thank you for watching.